So as you could see from the start of this video, I started at the trailhead for the Art Loeb Trail in the north here near Canton, North Carolina, at the Daniel Boone Scout Camp. And I'm almost a mile in, had 350 feet of elevation gain. And you can see it's already getting a little bit snowier. But at least it's switchback, so. But once you get towards Cold Mountain, that spur trail that takes you up there on the left, going north, that'll be pretty much uphill most of the way. So this gives you an idea of what to expect when you're out here on this trail. Beautiful day though, albeit a little bit cold. When I got into my car in Asheville, it was 19. So, all right, so I'm over a mile in, been climbing several hundred feet, gotten warmed up, had to shed one jacket, unzip another. Yeah, I'd recommend everyone get out and enjoy a winter hike, especially in the snow, if you're up to the challenge and you have the right gear. I'd highly recommend it. For one thing, you get unobstructed views with the leaves being off the trees. If you enjoy solitude, this is a time to be out, as less people are out on the trails. Not everybody's prepared to deal with the cold, especially on overnight trips. I wouldn't recommend it unless you have the right gear, unless you want to be miserable all night. But just getting out for a day hike, this is just amazing. I'll let you take a look at this. Winter Wonderland. You've seen in some of my past videos, especially last winter, where I did some overnights on the Appalachian Trail in the snow. Had snow every time I was out. I mean, when you climb up in these mountains, you may not have snow in the city. They called for, I think it was 8 inches in Asheville. I mean, when I woke up that morning, Friday morning, I woke up to a dusting, maybe an inch, and it had all melted within an hour because the temperature was above freezing and it started raining. But here in the higher elevations, when you get into these mountains, you can expect much more accumulation, as you can see. So there's my take on it. Get out here and enjoy yourself a winter hike, whether an overnight or a day hike. If you're doing a day hike, make sure you have emergency supplies in case something went wrong. I mean, you should always have provisions. Oh, see what I mean? Slipping in the snow. Something could go wrong and you might have to spend the night out here. So make sure you have provisions, lighter or matches, extra clothing, plenty of layers, hot hands, you know, emergency blanket, food rations, water filtration system, headlamp, whatever, you know. And make sure you keep your electronics and your water filter next to your body so they don't freeze. Because if they freeze, the batteries are going to die in your electronics, and your water filter is going to be useless because it'll be destroyed from ice forming in the filter. Check that out, that's beautiful. The sun is up, casting some bright light here, reflecting off the snow. I don't feel cold at all. Just enjoying this. That ridgeline's where I'm going. I believe that's Cold Mountain up there. I don't know what kind of little insects these are. But they're really small all over the snow here. Kind of jumping around. Just everywhere. Kind of look like salt and pepper here with the snow. Strange. See that? They jump around. Made it to Deep Camp, finally. See, there's a sign. Man, it was tough. The snow makes it feel like you're taking one step forward, 2 steps back. Just slide with every footstep. And I forgot my trekking pole, so I found this stick. Been walking with it for half the journey. Give me a little bit more traction. Could probably use crampons too. Man, just slipping and sliding. There's the spur trail to Cold Mountain, 1.4 to get to the summit. And then there's the Art Loeb going south. So I think I made it this far. I'm gonna try and push further. Just feel like I'm walking super slow, and I'm not accustomed to that. So once you see the ridge before you, you've only climbed a little less than halfway. You still have to make that steep ascent to get up there to that ridge. So just an FYI. There's the pipe spring here on the way to the summit of Cold Mountain. Not a really good flow, but the views are opening up real nice. Almost there, 4/10 of a mile or so. Yeah, it looks like the snow is melting, even though I'm climbing an elevation. It's been pretty slushy all the way up here in the sunshine. It's pretty warm too. Feels like it's above freezing. Here's a great spot to camp for a tent. I camped here 3.5 years ago on my way up to Cold Mountain. That looks like the paper mill in Canton over there. But great views here in this direction. Would you look at these views? About at the summit now. Can't go much higher. Gorgeous day too. On this big rock. Hell of a good hike to get up here though. Highly recommend it. All right, heading back to Daniel Boone Scout Camp. Just came across a couple, and kind of bothered me when I saw them. They were the only people I've seen out here all day. Excuse me, I'm crossing a stream right now and it's a little bit slippery. But it bothered me because, you know, the whole adage of hike your own hike. I don't normally like to critique others or criticize others, and maybe they have something at their disposal that I'm not aware of, but from my observation as they passed me by on the trail, they didn't have any backpacks. It looked like the guy had a hydration pack. The girl had a light jacket, and the guy was wearing nothing but a sweater. They had their little Cocker Spaniel dog with them. I asked them where they were heading. They said they were heading to Cold Mountain, where I came from. Now, I don't know if any of my viewers have ever hiked this trail, but this trail is challenging enough without snow. There's about 4 inches of snow here, As I said earlier, I forgot my trekking poles. I'm using a stick that I found. And you can see the snow is melting, it's becoming slippery. I was averaging 1.6 miles per hour, which is very slow for me. Even on harder hiking trails, I can go a lot faster than that. See, it's slippery, which adds to the difficulty. But anyway, it is slow going. Like I said earlier, it's like placing one step forward, 2 steps back with the way the snow is, especially going uphill. And they're about halfway to Cold Mountain Summit. No provisions that I could see of. Late in the day, close to 3 o'clock, 2.5 hours till sunset. I just worry about people like that. Like, why wouldn't you start a little bit earlier? This hike is almost 11 miles round trip. Like I said, it's much more difficult with the snow. And I said to the girl, I hope you brought a headlamp. And she looked at me funny. Well, I was just saying that out of concern because the sun will set on you. Unless you're going to run all the way down, you're not going to make it before sunset. Judging by how long it took me, and I'm a avid hiker. I hike usually 2.5 to 3 miles per hour, even going uphill on some hills. My point is, just bring provisions. So if you are going to do a late day hike, even a difficult one like this, at least have a backpack. This is why put the forest, put search and rescue at risk. With COVID going on, if they have to come out here and rescue you, you know, that could be avoided if you would just bring provisions. I never leave on a hike without my backpack with all my essentials for survival if I had to spend the night. So anyway, that's just my rant. I just would like to see people get out here and recreate safely and responsibly, because it's not worth it. Too many people have incidents every year and even go missing, you know, because they get lost. They get in over their heads thinking that this is like a walk in the park. This is nature. Nature doesn't have any regard for you. It'll eat you up and spit you out. So just consider that before you come out here, because every year in western North Carolina, search and rescue has to go and bail people out who get in over their heads. So anyway, that was long enough speech. I hope you can enjoy the woods as I do. This is one of several stream crossings here on this section of the Art Loeb Trail. I think it was about 4. Anyway, this is the first. The little waterfall.